Hi everyone, I'm Nicole from Low Income Relief, and today we're going to answer your questions that we've received over the last couple of weeks and months. If you're one of our email subscribers, you know that we sent out a survey a little while back asking what questions that you had that you wanted answered. And that's what we're going to cover today. If you'd like the chance to submit a Q&A, make sure you're subscribed to our email list. You can do that at email.lowincomerelief.com and sign up for that list so that you can answer the next time our survey comes around. So first of all, I want you to know that we took your feedback very seriously. We got a lot of good feedback on our website, our YouTube videos, our email lists, and so on. So before we dive into your specific questions, I want to address all of those who gave us such wonderful constructive feedback and let you know that we took that seriously. So we have improved our website based on the feedback that we've received, and some of the changes that we have made include a cleaner layout, more effective search function, more helpful tags for better organization. We've made sure that there are fewer ads on the website. We have separated the articles by state subheadings in most cases so that it's nice and easily skimmable for you. We've added new search functions, and we've started embedding our YouTube videos into our articles so that you can choose whether to read or watch those updates at your convenience. So make sure that you go check out lowincomerelief.com so that you can see all of those improvements. And of course, here on YouTube, both on our main channel, Low Income Relief, and this secondary channel, Fast Facts by Low Income Relief, we've been working to improve our resources there as well. So some YouTube improvements include better timestamps on our videos, more YouTube videos, which we're doing by publishing more frequently on our second channel, more state-specific videos, which again, we have to put on that second channel. We found that state-specific videos really don't do well on our main channel. We've tried to explain complex terms more clearly. We've resorted to a lot simpler editing process, which you may have noticed, and we're adding more on-screen text so that you can read and listen at your convenience, as you can see here in this video. And of course, we've also made improvements to our email newsletters as well. You should have noticed by now we have clearer titles, a cleaner look, and we've cut out the extra clicks by linking directly to the information that you care about. So we've made it easier to skim. We're including more articles because we heard from our email subscribers that they prefer to read instead of watch. And we've also been trying to send those emails more frequently. So with that out of the way, let's dive into our Q&A. So first up, we received a question from someone who said, I'm a single disabled woman in Iowa. I don't see anything that helps me. Is low income relief not meant for people like me? And I just want to make it very clear that low income relief is designed to help everyone, no matter your situation or where you live. We want you to feel valued and important and helped by our information because we believe that everyone deserves access to support. In fact, for Iowa specific resources, you can go to lowincomerelief.com/category/Iowa, and you can actually sub out where it says Iowa for any state. You can put Kansas there, California, any state. You should be able to just replace Iowa with your state name, and that should take you to the list of resources that we have found in your state. We are still working on improving the organization of our website. When I built this thing 10 years ago, I didn't exactly know what I was doing when I set it up. I never expected low income relief to become my full-time job. I thought it was just my hobby. And so there have been some issues with our categories. For example, when we post a resource that's applicable nationwide, it's generally frowned on to give your Article 51 categories. So you'll find those under a separate nationwide category and not necessarily in the state-specific one. We're still trying to figure out how to handle that in a way that's seamless and easy to use. But for now, you can go to the category / your state name to find the state-specific resources, but make sure you also check out the nationwide category for the other resources that we found, because there's a lot of them that also apply nationwide. Okay. Are there any free prescription medicine programs for people with no income? Yes. There are so many programs that can help with this. So if you have no income, you may qualify for prescription assistance programs offered by pharmaceutical companies, state governments, nonprofit organizations, so many things. So the first thing you should do is try to apply for Medicaid. That's going to be your best option. You can also try to qualify for a patient assistance fund. Those are amazing funds that can help cover the cost of your medicines and treatments. There may also be manufacturer discounts. I take a medication that if I had to pay full price, I'm pretty sure last time I checked it was like $17,000 a dose. Like, it's wild. But I was told that if I didn't have any insurance, I would pay just $25 a month through the manufacturer discount program. Now, fortunately, I have really good insurance, so I don't have to pay anything and the insurance covers it. But if I didn't have that, manufacturer's discounts are amazing. Patient assistance funds are a little bit harder to get, but they are also amazing. You can also you can try needymeds.org or call your state's health department for additional resources. They may have other things that may be able to assist you as well. And of course, there are all sorts of nonprofit organizations that can help you get your medicines, usually on a one-time basis only. So you should really only use those in case of like absolute emergency. Definitely try these other options first so that you don't use a resource that's a one-time only thing if you don't have to do that. Okay. Why don't you have more resources in Oklahoma, especially for grandparents raising grandkids? Now, that is a very good question. I know that there is a lot greater need for resources in Oklahoma, especially for grandparents raising grandkids, and I know that it can be really hard to find the right support. Like I said before, I didn't expect low-income relief to become my full-time job, so we've definitely struggled to keep up with all of the state-specific resources like I wanted to. If you look on the website and you look under the nationwide category, you're going to find a lot more help. But I'm also working on putting out a video about resources for grandparents raising grandkids as well. And also, even if you are a grandparent raising a grandchild, a lot of the programs that are designed to help parents will also help you. There are also kinship care programs. That would be the phrase you'd want to search for, is kinship care, that may be able to assist you as well. But if you have a child in your household and you meet the income limits for things like SNAP, TANF, anything like that, those programs can still assist you even if you are not the parent of the child in a lot of cases. So, okay, I'm disabled and I need help through the process. Can low-income relief provide direct assistance? Unfortunately, the answer to that is no. I am not a social worker. I am not a credentialed person of any kind. I am a researcher, so I can't provide any sort of direct case management for you. However, I can show you other resources that can do that for you. So if you, depending on the type of process that you need assistance with, a patient advocate is a great resource. A caseworker through your local health department may be helpful. Sometimes you can find one through a social services agency. You can also find information on benefits and assistance programs on websites like disability.gov. If you are trying to apply for Social Security or VA disability, our sponsor Injury Claims may be able to assist you. You can get help from them at either lirlinks.com/SSDI or lirlinks.com/claimhelp. But really, the direct case management services that you're going to need are going to depend on what kind of help you need. If you're a senior, definitely check out your area agency on aging. They can be really helpful. If you need something more general, you can inquire at your food bank, see if they know who can help you figure that out. But as far as we go, we can't help you with any sort of applications or one-on-one case management services here at Low Income Relief, unfortunately. Okay, can you find more low-income help specifically for people with disabilities? Yes, we can, and we definitely need to, and that is something that we are going to be working on. Like I said, we always want to make sure that we're creating content that is tailored to your specific needs, and so I am working on a video about that specifically. And so if you have specific questions like this, I would absolutely love to know what you would like to see more help with, because those are the kind of videos and research that we're trying to complete for you. So feel free to drop a comment below, answer the survey that's going to be coming out in an upcoming email here soon. But yeah, definitely ask us your questions because we want to make sure that we're creating that content. Okay. I'm a senior living with my adult children and struggling financially. Can you find help for me? Yes. This definitely gets a little bit harder because when you're living with other people, a lot of times those programs are going to want to include the household income for everyone and things like that. So I definitely recommend that you reach out to your local area agency on aging because they're going to be able to help you navigate that system better once they know your specific situation. But I will also try to keep an eye out for more resources for you. But please don't wait for me. Please reach out to your local area agency on aging right away to see what they can help you figure out. I'm over 55 and I would like to learn a new skill. Where can I look? This is a great question. I love this. There are all sorts of places you can go to get help learning new skills. So I would start with the area agency on aging. I'd look at your local library because a lot of them have some amazing workshops and skill building classes. Community colleges often have discount programs for seniors. that can help you attend classes without paying very much at all. You usually don't get credit for that, but it can definitely help you learn new skills, stay active, make connections in your community, and so on. Senior centers are a great resource. There are all sorts of online learning platforms out there. If you're going to try to learn a language, Duolingo is great and it's free. Khan Academy is free, and there's all sorts of things you can learn on there. Of course, volunteer organizations also have a lot of different opportunities. AmeriCorps Seniors is a great place to go if you want to volunteer and learn new things. Those are all great options. I'm sure there are more, but that is definitely where I would start. Okay, how can I create a budget on a low income? This is obviously a challenge. And it can feel really overwhelming because when you don't have enough money to cover everything, it can get really depressing to look at that on paper. But you need to start by tracking your spending, separating your needs from your wants, prioritizing your expenses, and looking for areas to cut back. Prioritizing essential expenses is a really big deal. I personally always prioritize my housing. I've been homeless before. I never want to be homeless again. So my housing always gets paid first no matter what, because I mean, what's the point of paying your utilities if you're going to lose your house anyways, right? Yes. For extra guidance, we do have a $1 budget template available in our YouTube merch shelf below this video. You can also call 211 to find a free financial counselor in your area. That can be really helpful. But I would definitely start just by tracking your spending, making a list of what you need versus what you want, looking for areas to cut back, prioritizing. And then once you have that list of what you have to pay, go through our articles and our videos and try to find help covering those essential expenses, because there are programs out there that can help you with your utilities. There are ways that you can get discounts on your internet and your phone bill and things like that that can help chip away at the essential expenses so that you have more money for the other things that are harder to get help with. So anyway, that's what I would recommend. All right, so okay. Why do seniors have trouble paying rent, and why doesn't anyone seem to care? Oh boy, do I care. This is a hard one, and I understand why a lot of people feel this way, because when you're in a really desperate situation and there's not a lot of resources out there, it can feel like nobody cares, and that's really, really hard. I personally love very, very many seniors who are struggling with their housing right now, so this feels really personal to me. Sorry. I know that living on a fixed income can feel impossible when the money just isn't there and the cost of everything keeps getting higher. I want you to know that I do care very, very much, and I wish that there was more that I could personally do to solve this problem. We have found several agencies and organizations that can help pay rent, and we have made a list of those on our website. You can see right here at lowincomerelief.com/rent-relief. For senior specific rent assistance programs, I would call your area agency on aging, because they're going to have, lists of resources that may be able to assist you. 211, I always recommend. I've heard from many of you, especially in response to this survey, that 211 wasn't necessarily helpful for you when you needed them, which sucks, because they're supposed to be the go-to resource for this sort of thing. There are some organizations that can help, and we've done our best to tabulate all those on our website. But it's the second part of that question, the why doesn't anyone seem to care, that really, really gets me. And I'm so sorry that there are so many of you that feel that way. Like I said, I wish there was so much more out there. I guess that question has specifically to do with paying rent. I know if you already own your own home, there's a lot of property tax exemptions and things like that that you can get to help lower your housing costs. But when you're paying rent, there's just not that much out there. All right. Where can I find help getting a foldable scooter in Texas if Medicaid doesn't cover it? This is a great question, and I think we answered this recently, a short on the main channel, but I know how important mobility is. There's several people that I love that rely on mobility scooters and different aids like that. So there are organizations that loan out or give out these types of equipment. If you go to lowincomerelief.com/DME, that stands for Durable Medical Equipment, that's where we're putting our list of free medical equipment providers. We've looked at all sorts of different states. Specifically in Texas, you may be able to get help from Age of Central Texas, DME Exchange of Dallas, Good Wheelchairs. MedC Inc., Project Mend, the Rainbow Senior Center. This question didn't specifically say where in Texas they were looking, so we just kind of included a lot of things here. You can also call 211 for more options. Another great option is thrift stores. You can often find secondhand wheelchairs, scooters, that sort of things at thrift stores for a very low cost. And sometimes those thrift stores will loan them out on a loaner basis so that, you take it, you bring it back, and then they can give it to someone else as well. That's a great way to be able to connect with those kinds of programs. All right, I am $10 over the limit for SNAP. How can I get help with healthy food other than food pantries? It drives me crazy that there are so many people who fall into that gap between what's eligible and what's not, and you're just a couple of dollars over. I remember it was quite a while ago, but I remember when my husband got a raise and we were like $1.50 over the limit for SNAP, and it just wrecked us because it wasn't that much of a raise, right? But we lost hundreds of dollars in food help, and I didn't know what we were going to do. So I so sympathize with this question because that is such a horrible place to be. So first of all, the first question I would have for whoever submitted this was, when did you look? Because if you're on a fixed income and your income is not changing, but it's been a couple of years, every year those income limits on SNAP are adjusted and they increase a little bit. So if you were $10 over the limit for SNAP a couple of years ago and your income hasn't changed substantially, you may find that you are now eligible for that. So definitely keep checking back every year when they make those income adjustments and see if that's something that you can get. Now, if you are a senior or a person with disability, they calculate your income a little differently. So even if you're looking at your state website and it looks like you're just a little bit over, if you are a senior or a person with a disability, it may still be worth applying if you have out-of-pocket medical expenses, because that will reduce the amount of income that they count against you, and you may find that you still qualify. So if you are just within $10 over the limit, definitely take a look a little deeper, see if there's some loophole there that can help you get those benefits. Now, assuming that that's not possible because the question was asking for other options, there are still other ways that you can cut down on your grocery bill and get some help. So I like to compare prices with an app called Flip. It's an app I have on my phone, and it has flyers for all the stores in my area, and I can search for some specific item that I need to go buy, and it will show me the different prices and sales at all the stores in my area. That helps me save a lot of money. Shopping seasonally, stocking up when things are on sale, repurposing leftovers to reduce waste. There's a whole lot of, especially if you use a smartphone, there's a whole lot of apps out there now that are really focused on reducing food waste. Wish I'd written down more of them. I think Too Good To Go is one of them. And I know we've done some videos on these before. I'll have to roll out another video on that. But there are apps that are aimed at helping people connect with food that's going, instead of it being dumped by a store because it's ugly. I hate that they throw away food that's ugly and it's not picture perfect produce, so they just dump it. That's insane to me. There are apps that are designed to help you recover those kinds of foods. Food banks are great. I know you said other than food pantries, but food banks are great. There are a couple of community organizations in my area, and I know that these vary wildly depending on where you are, but there's a couple of community organizations in my area that go around and do gleaning, and they'll gather up all of the gleaned food from the farms, and then they sell that for a really reduced price. In a lot of cases, they give it away. So if you're looking to connect with healthy food, definitely look for gleaning programs in your area because they're fantastic. Gleaning is when they go over the field after the farmers have gathered everything they're going to sell, and they just let people come in and pick over whatever's left. The produce is usually not attractive. It's not picture perfect. It's going to be, odd sizes, shapes, maybe blemishes, but it's still perfectly edible, right? It's way cheaper. So I like connecting with that for sure. And again, community pantries, meal sites, all sorts of organizations like that in your area. You can always call 211. I'm supposed to say that. I know a lot of you hate it, but that's where I would start. Anyway, sorry I keep rambling. That's why I don't do more of these Q&As. I feel like I stay on topic and I get you guys help more concisely when I stick to a script. But okay. Is couponing worth it? Is shopping at the dollar store really cost effective? So couponing at dollar stores can be really helpful when you're trying to save money, but it's important to use them strategically because they can also become traps, right? So coupons can offer you great discounts, especially when you combine them with other sales. I've never been an extreme couponer, but I've known people who do it. One of the big warnings that I have for you is don't just buy things because you have a coupon, right? Even if you have $2 off this name brand whiz bang thing, if you weren't going to buy it, you're still going to end up spending more than you would have. And if $2 off the name brand thing is still more expensive than the store brand, then you're still spending more than you would have, right? So don't let a coupon trick you into spending more money than you would have otherwise. And again, with dollar stores, they can be amazing for certain items. There are certain things that I only buy at dollar stores. Pregnancy tests is a big one. I was having my kids, I wouldn't, it's just way cheaper and they're just as reliable, right? You always want to compare unit prices to make sure that you're getting a good deal, especially lately. I've seen a lot of things at the dollar store that are cheaper at Walmart. So make sure that you're focusing on needs, not impulse buys, and prioritize those unit prices because those are really going to make a big difference in your ability to compare effectively what's actually worth it. Okay, I'm experiencing homelessness and I need help. Where can I find resources? So first of all, my heart goes out to you. Homelessness is no joke. There's some really tough stuff, and I'm sorry that you're going through that. There are organizations out there that can support you. You want to start by contacting your local continuum of care. That's what you want to look up, continuum of care, because they're going to be the organization and the program that helps coordinate kind of all of the homeless resources in your area. They'll help you learn about shelters, housing programs, all sorts of things. You can find them by searching Continuum of Care online or by calling 211. You can also call 211 to find emergency shelter, food, healthcare resources, all sorts of things like that that may be able to assist you. If you don't want to call 211, you can usually search their database online. That's what I prefer to do because I found that is way more helpful. You can also, a lot of times your library will be able to connect you with some resources. Your community action agency may have some good insight into what's available in your community. If you're a senior, contact your area agency on aging as well. They may be able to assist you with additional resources. And of course, if you just contact your local homeless shelters, they usually have a variety of services that may be able to assist you, including showers, laundry, meal services, all sorts of things like that. So I know it's hard, but try to reach out and get connected to those community organizations so that you can get the support that you need, because it is out there, even if it isn't always super easy to find. Okay. All right. Is it true that you can't switch back to a regular Medicare if you choose an Advantage plan? It is not entirely true that you can't switch back. You do have options to change, but you're usually limited to only changing at certain times of the year. So generally, you can switch back to original Medicare between October 15th to December 7th of each year, and that change will then take effect on January 1st. If you are really struggling with your Medicare situation, you can always call your state health insurance assistance program for personalized guidance. This is a free service. They are really good at helping you navigate your options. So I would definitely reach out to them. All right. Does Florida have any low-income help? I don't think it has anything to offer. Smile because I get asked this question all the time, like several times a month we get asked about Florida. And then also several times a month we get asked, like, why does Florida have all the resources? Why isn't there anything for me? So it just makes me smile because I think, I know that we cover all 50 states at low income relief. And I feel like it's really easy to feel like your state gets the short end of the stick. And I think everybody kind of feels that way a little bit. So I know that finding resources in Florida can be tough. It's not the easiest state to find help in. But it's important to remember as you're watching, especially our videos or reading our articles, that most of the benefits and programs and resources that we talk about are going to be available in every state, including Florida. So programs like SNAP, WIC, TANF, LIHEAP, these things are going to be available no matter what state that you're in. Now, Florida does offer some state-specific programs for low-income residents as well, such as My Safe Florida Home, which provides free home inspections and grants for hurricane hardening. If you'd like to see what else we found in Florida, again, you can go to lowincomerelief.com/category/Florida for everything that we found so far, and we are working on building that up. We're also working on creating state-specific playlists here on Fast Facts by Low Income Relief so that you can more easily find those resources as well. All right. Are there any grants for buying a new house or getting help fixing the one that I'm in? There are a lot of grants available for home buyers and those who need help with home repair. So we've compiled a list at lowincomerelief.com/free-home-repair-grants. There are just all sorts of programs like this, and we're constantly talking about this in our videos, especially our live videos on the main Low Income Relief channel. So you should go check that out. And many cities and counties also have down payment assistance funds for eligible home buyers. Many organizations and nonprofits offer support with home repairs and modifications as well. Never hurts to ask. Make sure you go check out those lists. Okay. How can we protect ourselves from scams as low-income individuals? I love this question because I know that scammers are out in force and they're constantly coming up with new and creative ways to target people, and it drives me nuts. So I feel like we talk about scams a lot on our channel. I always think it's good to have a refresher. So protect yourself by being aware of common scams. We talk about a lot of the new ones that I find. Never give out your personal information. Do not give out your social security number, your Medicare number, your birthday, any of that. Be wary of unsolicited offers and just unsolicited outreach in general. One of the trends that I've noticed just in my personal life is a huge uptick in the number of texts I get from people who are clearly trying to get me to reveal information. You'll get a text message that's like, hey, Anne, what time are you available to go to the party tonight? And a lot of people will respond, hey, this isn't Anne, this is whatever your name is. And then all of a sudden these people have your name, right? And then you can get a text from another number and now they're addressing you by name and they just gather information this way, and it's not good. So don't answer. You get a text that wasn't intended for you, don't even engage with it, right? Be very wary of anyone who reaches out to you unprompted. Always do your research, never pay upfront fees for things. Think critically, trust your instincts. Watch our videos. You've got EBT, watch out for skimming devices. Never reveal your PIN numbers to anything, or reveal your passwords to anything. Be very, very careful with your personal information. Be careful what links you click on the internet. We've got another video we're going to come out with about how to tell what's safe and what's not online, because I feel like there's a lot of scams happening that way as well. So, all right. I'm a young adult with invisible disabilities and limited support. How can I get help? That is a hard one. It's a really hard one because invisible disabilities are just really hard to manage, right? Like if you don't look sick, a lot of people are going to treat you like you're not sick. My husband became disabled at a very young age, and I still remember the doctor looking at us and being like, well, you're too young to have this problem. That's not helpful, is it? Anyway, definitely explore patient assistance funds. First of all, because they can help you with your medication costs. You may also be able to get help with transportation costs. Those funds are amazing, and they're determined by diagnosis. So you'll need to, like, PAN, TAF Cares. There's a whole bunch of these patient assistance funds there that you can look into. Depending on your diagnosis, you may also be eligible for certain hardship grants. We have a list of hardship grants available on our website at lowincomerelief.com. I think it's /hardship-grants. Anyway, depending on your state and income, you may also qualify for Medicaid, which is great because one of the biggest problems that people with invisible disabilities have is being able to get the medical coverage they need to get the medications and the treatment that they need to be able to function. So definitely check out Medicaid. You may be eligible for SSI depending on the severity of your disability. If you're on SSDI, you should be able to get Medicare as well. Definitely connect with local nonprofits and support groups for extra help. A lot of them aren't going to necessarily be tailored to invisible disabilities. A lot of them are going to have more general requirements, but definitely check out the resources on our website and our YouTube videos. And don't eliminate yourself from consideration, right? Like, don't just be like, oh, I don't think I could get that. Try. The worst they can do is tell you no, right? Always try. Okay. How can I get approved for Section 8 housing without going through the lottery system? Oh man, I get asked this a lot. And I know it's a headache because Section 8 wait lists are insane. There's no reason why anyone should sit on a wait list for 5 to 10 years. That seems insane to me. Unfortunately, most Section 8 housing authorities do use a lottery system due to high demand. Applications are typically open for a short time, often like a week or two every few years. And then they get a whole bunch of people on the wait list, and then they just lottery select them until they have enough openings that they can dump more people on the wait list. For some people, like those with young children or those imminently facing homelessness, there may be a way to receive priority. I know when my husband was discharged from the military, we were able to get priority in a low-income housing unit because we had veteran status, a young child, and we were about to be living in our car. And so that kind of bumped us up the list a little bit. But it's not always clear how to get that priority or if you're going to be given that priority. It's important to contact your local housing authority so that you can ask them about their specific processes, any potential exemptions, or other opportunities in your area. In our case, we weren't looking for Section 8. We were just applying directly to a subsidized housing unit. I think that's why we were able to get help so fast. We were in that townhome, I think, within 2 or 3 weeks of applying. But that's because we applied with a specific property and we didn't try to do this whole Section 8 thing. Anyway, they can provide, if you contact your local housing authority, they can usually provide you information about application periods, eligibility requirements, alternative pathways, anything that may be able to assist you. So definitely reach out. Okay. Somebody said, why do you have so many ads? They confuse me. And I understand that. I try really hard to make sure all of our ads are labeled very clearly, that it's very clear when something is an ad as opposed to our content, especially on our website. I don't have a lot of control on our videos, but I have a lot more control on the website. We have significantly reduced the number of ads on our website, and we've improved that placement. Problem is we can't get rid of them entirely because that's what supports our team. We rely on that ad revenue to make sure that we're able to pay for all of the costs associated with keeping our website up and running, paying our team, people who moderate our comments, the assistants that you don't see that help me create the material and keep things running. Ads, unfortunately, we can't fully get rid of those, but we have tried to make that an easier and less intrusive process for you. So hopefully they're not confusing now. I would love to get some feedback on that. If you think that it's still confusing, let me know so that we can get that fixed. Okay, why don't you have contests anymore? That is another great question. As a lot of you know, we were running a gift card promotion this year where we were offering a $150 gift card every month at random to an email subscriber. Didn't go as planned. Apparently, a lot of people thought that that was a scam. So that was really kind of damaging, I think, to our brand overall, because a lot of people thought that it was a scam and it caused some issues with our email list and our deliverability, which weren't good. In order to keep helping as many people as possible, we had to discontinue that promotion. So we are not doing that anymore, unfortunately. I was really hoping that that would be better, but it didn't go the way that I thought that it would, which was really surprising to me. Anyway, with all of that, I think we've just about finished today. Oh, wow, this is a long video. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see more Q&A videos like this, please let me know. Let me know in the comments. Make sure that you sign up for our email list at email.lowincomерelief.com so that you can be included in any future surveys or Q&A activities that we do there. I hope this has been helpful to you, and I will be back soon with more ways that you can save money